Hello, everyone. Music Scene Investigation is on the air. Glad to have you with us today. It's going to be a good show. I feel it in my bones. I think you can too. If you were here the last couple of weeks, you know how much we cut up and stuff like that, and you know how much I don't like that. No, I'm kidding. I really do. It's probably going to be just the same. Who knows? But we're going to have a good time with it no matter what. We had some great music last week, some really good music, I think, coming up again this week. We'll find out what the panel has to say about it in just a little bit. Before we do that, however, I want to remind everybody that this Wednesday, the 8th of July, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 p.m. GMT, we've got our hit list for the month coming up. We have some great music from last month that we're going to be taking a listen to find out who we're going to be selecting as our band of the month. And in that list of music, we're going to be taking a listen to, once again, Dennis James and his track, The Girl in the River, or The Girl in the House by the River. We'll be listening to Explendidos and the track Sound and Video, along with the Bongo Club Boom Shakalaka, boom. It's not as easy as it. It's Boom Shakalaka. Yeah, exactly. And, of course, last but not least, the Long Grass Band and their track Before the Sun. So we'll find out who the band of the month is going to be this coming Wednesday. Certainly hope you can join us then. Before we do all of that, however, we want to meet our panelist on the broadcast today. We're going to the Riviera, not the French Riviera. We're going to the English Riviera first. We're going to say hello to James. Hey, James, my friend, how are you, sir?
Hello, Rich. Everything's fine down here in sunny Brighton.
Well,
I can actually disclose my location today.
You got all that. All
It
that.
is really sunny.
Yeah,
You can't hide with the shades open anyway.
exactly. I'm past all that now. I've done my time back in an area where I'm able to say where I am.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. It's very fortunate for you that they're in the Riviera, that the judicial system is so lenient that you only got 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So
But we're still not allowed to say what for. But John Schroeder knows all about that.
well, maybe we can get it out of him then, and we'll find out about that here in a second. Speaking of John Schroeder, we're going to go over to London, where Ian and John both are. Hey, gentlemen,
Yeah.
how the heck are you?
Fine, great seeing you again, speaking to you. Got the lovely Ian
Hello.
next door to me here, so
Hello.
It's great to see both of you guys as well. Now, before we get to everything you've been up to, John, I know you've been up to a lot. I want to talk to Ian first because he and I have a little unfinished business from last
Yeah,
week.
about that. Yeah, about that.
oh, okay. You
You-
do that.
You're going to get 2 weeks, and no, never mind. Anyway, Ian,
You
last
were wrong. I still maintain you were wrong, and it's not going to change.
that's fine. I don't mind that part. The part I'm wondering about is the witness statements from last week, where we had Convictum, Juke Johnson, and the Long Grass Band. How did the witness statements turn out, my friend?
Well, we went for the Long Grass Band, if I remember rightly,
That is
which
correct.
was song number 3 with Before the Sun. And for songwriting, our audience agreed with us. For performance, our audience agreed with us. And for mix and production, our audience were a bit 50-50 with that and song 2. So, but overall, they verified and backed us up.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. Now, over to the legendary, and I use that term quite correctly, by the way, Mr.
Me,
John
what about me?
Schroeder.
Oh,
No.
that's nice. Legendary. I like that. Yes, good. I've seen something successful then.
Well, no,
He's happy now. He's going to go home.
that was the word that Ian had on the card when you walked in the door. It's the secret word. If the secret word is said, you're free to go. Was that what it is?
That's right.
Oh, all right.
We're,
Okay.
we're playing Rich Wildman bingo.
There you go. Well, it's great to have you on again, John. I know it's been a while. What is it, 5 months, 6 months, something along those
Yeah.
lines?
Yes, 5 or 6 months. It was before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And since then, I got married in March to the lovely Diane.
Who's over the back there, but you can't see her. Say hello, Diane.
And we're looking forward to some belated honeymoon. We're going to go on what they call a Viking cruise on the Danube, and we're going to see Budapest, Nuremberg, and Prague. So we're looking very much forward to that.
When you say you're going to see them on a Viking longboat, do you mean you're invading?
Yes.
Yeah, just checking.
Of course.
He's got his horny helmet and everything. You know what I mean?
You gotta take the correct dress with you, you know. They don't let you on otherwise.
Photos, or it didn't happen.
I'd like a photo of his horny helmet.
Yeah.
Steady now, James. Come on.
Yeah.
Family. No, it's not really. It's not
Anyway, that's a major what we're looking forward to a great deal. Meantime, I'm being very heavily with writing, and I'm writing my third book in the middle of it at the moment, and the second book, which is a cat book and describes the therapeutic powers of the cat. I'm putting that book together with new photographs and new cover and so on, and that's being reissued in September. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And I've noticed that the #1 best-selling book in the US was quite recently a book called Dewey, the Library Cat. And I've read that, and I've looked at that book and looked at my book and found where I was going wrong. So I'm revamping the cover of it and tightening the book up, and the publishers are going to reissue it in September. So that's a big time for me.
John, right?
Yep.
We've got a lot to talk about from your point of view. Yeah, you're up to a load of stuff at the moment. But it's very rare we get a chance to have someone like you on the show that knows so much about James. And I just thought, while we had you here, maybe you had a story or two that you want to tell everyone that might just embarrass James a little bit or something. You don't have to. I mean, I'm just sort of seeing if we can get one out.
James is a lovely guy. He's sort of laid back and cool, and he doesn't take the traumas of life very seriously. He sort of gets over it, and probably inside him it is difficult to get over some of the things. But I've known him for a long time, Diane, and I've known him for a long time, and I'm very, very glad that he's found the right lady in his life right now. And so he won't.
Come on, where's the dirt? We want the dig. I'm digging for dirt here, John.
No, I don't know too much about James. He's just very good.
Really?
Keeps all that hidden very well.
Oh.
So in other words,
quiet about a few things.
I was going to say, in other words, James has paid you off in cash.
Use notes.
That's exactly right. Yes, sir. Yes.
But more interestingly enough, you managed to catch up with Status Quo not too long ago, didn't you?
I did indeed, yes.
Who you've got a bit of a history with, obviously.
Yeah, I found them and produced them for 5 years. And we had, they've been in the business for over 25 years now, that band. Fantastic. And I produced them for 5 years. And I caught out with them at the Royal Albert Hall in London, not very long ago, and went to their concert and their gig, if you like. And we went down and met them and all the rest of it, photographs taken. It was just incredible seeing them. They're still there, the same guys, and they still do the same music. And the crowd, they all stand up and go mad. So it's fantastic.
But Diane did have a complaint, didn't she? That they were sat down all night.
She did have a complaint that they were sat down all night, because the Status Quo are known to really, get together and sort of it's one-to-one, standing up and all the sort of thing they do with the guitars and all that. And they just sat down in front. They're like old farts, and
well, they are.
playing their old music.
They are old farts.
But the audience all stood up and went quite mad. But then you look around the audience, the age of the audience is like 50 plus, Yeah. That was the strangest thing of all.
Have they given up drugs recently or something?
I don't know that one. I'm sure they've never done that, but
And how about Sir Mandy? What's going on with Sir Mandy?
Well, quite a lot's going on with Sir Mandy. It's taken a long, long time. And the band are really getting together as a band now, and they're starting to get a lot of gigs. And we've been to Coco's in Camden Town recently, and they blew the place apart. I mean, it was packed. And there was Samani playing the same sort of music with the same infectious rhythms and all the rest of it. They're really good. And they also headlined a bill at the Barbican in London, which was quite an event for them.
Cool.
The only trouble that night was the sound was dire. And it wasn't Samandi's fault that it was the Barbican's sound checks or crew or whatever. They didn't get the sound right with that band, so I was very disappointing about that. However, the good news is, after having produced their 4th album now, practically 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago now?
The deal with a major record company has just been signed.
Right.
And the album, I think it's called This Time With Feeling. It's going to be released around about September, October. And the band are getting a lot more gigs. They've got gigs in France that they're doing and so on. And America looks very possible because they've got a lot of strength in America. They have top 20 single. They've had albums, and they're very well known in the States. So I'm really looking forward to them revisiting, if you like.
We were mentioning earlier that Rich would like them to go and travel to a cornfield and play out there. Do you reckon that's possible?
I think that's very possible, yeah. It depends how much they're going to get, what they're going to get for it. I mean,
What do you reckon, Rich?
You have to do a deal.
I think 3 cows, a pig, and all the corn on the cob you can eat. That would be easy.
All right.
That's just the rider. That's
yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
So that's really really what's taking my time up. Other than writing, I'm very, very involved with writing books, and I'm in the middle of the 3rd book. And the 3rd book is based upon the 1st book, which is my autobiography. And plugging the book, it's called Sex and Violins, which is available on Amazon and so on.
And a very good read.
Thank you. It was a very good read. And it's really, everybody said about that book, who said that you've got pictures of artists in that book that you've produced, how these artists were found, and what you've produced them. But what are the stories behind all those productions?
The dirt.
And there's all the dirt.
Yeah, that's what people want.
The dirt.
Back
so
to
I'm
James.
now writing the dirt. And it's called Blind Faith.
It's called?
Blind Faith.
Okay.
Temporarily. I don't know if it will be the title of the book, but at the moment it's Blind Faith.
Right.
And it's amazing that I'm writing it in the 3rd person, not the 1st person,
right.
In the 3rd person, and thought of a name for myself. But I've got to get new names for all these people that have appeared out through my career, you see. I mean, what do I call the status quo, It's pretty hard when you're writing...
Laters Poe?
Well, yeah. I'll be welcome for any ideas.
Just thinking about me, John, I'll come up with something silly for you. Okay. Why can't you use the real names?
Because what's the legal term of this when you're... No, it's not passing off. It's something that you might be telling a story about somebody who's still alive, but it may not be true, or may be true, and they don't want it to be heard.
It could be libelous.
It could be libelous. And I certainly don't want to get anywhere near anything that is libelous. So, I'm writing in different names, with everybody in this book is different names.
And here's the online confession.
Yeah, the big question. The puzzle at the end of the book is, guess who the names are? You see?
You should make them all anagrams.
Yeah, well...
And then you could have like an anagram puzzle at the back of the book. That would be brilliant.
I know.
But
it's quite fun doing it. I think, oh my God, what it was to produce, to get that band. And even the Samandi story is incredible. Everybody knows Samandi, but what happened before Samandi and the leading up to the first sessions with him and what went with... it's quite incredible.
Sam Kelly, you can call him Kelly Sampson.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah. And they went to the States, didn't they? And they supported Al Green, and fantastic. They had a fantastic career so far, and I'm really, really pleased that they get together now in their 4th album. And when they're playing on stage, they're all sort of, dare I say, somewhere near my age, but they still look about 25 years old. Quite amazing.
So in other words, they're not sitting down.
They are not sitting down. No,
Rich and I going to get a mention in this new book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Could be.
Just
depends
making,
how, we can do a little...
Just making sure.
If you need any dirt on Ian, let me know. I'll change his name. That's fine. And if I have to, I'll just... If I have to, I'll make it up. Exactly.
Well, I've been looking towards you, Rich, for some promotive ideas for the new Samandy album when it comes out, and the new third John Schroeder book when it comes out. Rich, you're a very important man in my life.
Happy to help any way I can.
Yeah, right.
Now, I'll tell you what. Go ahead, Ian. I'm sorry.
No, go on. No, after you.
I just wanted to say that, of course, if you do have the opportunity to come to the States, let me know, because I would love to see Samandy and meet Samandy. If you're traveling with him, even if you're not, let me know. But either way, it would be an awesome opportunity, in my opinion.
Yes, well, that's in my head that will happen. I can't say when. Depends on what the reaction is to the new album, but they've got a very, very strong fan following, and a lot of people have picked up on the band, and they're getting all their tracks have been recorded by other people, and parts of film things and all the time, so they're doing very well. And their biggest success has been in the States, so I think it's very likely that we will get over there. And certainly, Rich, free tickets or wherever we are.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Wonderful. Now, there's a little help coming from the chat room on your new book. I just saw this, and I think it might work. It's worth a shot anyway. Pinky is saying, instead of making up names, how about just using, quote unquote, a bloke that looks a lot like Sam Kelly?
Okay. Oh, I'll bear that in mind, yeah.
It wasn't Sam Kelly, but it looked a hell of a lot like him.
Yeah. Right.
Just a thought. Now, Ian, I think, was going to show us what he's drinking this evening.
Oh, I'm the Jack Daniels. I was just doing a quick little product placement shot there for us. I'm still trying to get sponsorship, but they're not looking after me.
Oh, well, don't expect them to. That's just the way it kind of is. So.
While I drink their drink from my Jack Daniels glass.
There you go.
Wants me.
It's the way it is, We do have some new music to take a listen to today.
I just want to do one quick thing.
Sure.
I've got a new video out. It's a Lego animation. It's called Bricking Bad. It's up on my channel. Just search Ian Husbands on YouTube. You'll find it. But I want to do a quick shout out to Danny and Paul over at Firestar Toys and Minifigures.com, two top guys, and also to Mark Guest, who's at Bricks and Bricks Culture magazine, and say a big thank you for their help in getting the video out.
Absolutely. I've seen the video. It's a very cool video, and all I can say is popsicle. All right.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
No, we all scream for popsicles. Because that's, if it were ice cream, it'd be a different story, but the hook is a popsicle. That's all you need to know. It's all I can tell you under contract, I guess, Ian's got people. What can I say? All right. 3 new songs to take a listen to today, and it's going to be interesting to hear what you guys have to say. I think it's going to be a tough run. That's all I can say about it. So why don't we take a listen to the first song right here on today's broadcast right now. Here it is, everyone. This is track number 1 on today's Music Scene Investigation. Enjoy.
You don't know what to do, don't even know yourself. Your story to work it through, don't mess with all things left. Don't blame anyone but yourself. Stand up for your life till you get your final pride. Like a wind thoughts in my mind, it's like a flame burning my eyes. Together we can find the truth behind the scars. The scars. The scars. I feel them deep inside. Like a wind thoughts in my mind, it's like a flame burning my eyes. Together we can find the truth behind the scars. Like a wind thoughts in my mind, it's like a flame burning my eyes. Together we can find the truth behind the scars.
There you have track number 1 on the broadcast today. Let's find out what our panel thought about it. We're going to go first over to James and get his thoughts. James, what do you think about track number 1?
Yeah, I quite like that. I enjoyed it. There's some interesting things going on with the introduction, which I shall say now I thought was a little bit too long, because that ran in for about a minute before there was any vocals. But it had that kind of weird, mysterious, sort of science fiction-y type sound to it, which was obvious with all those really good synth sounds there. It was nice to hear something that didn't sound too much out of the box. A lot of the time we hear anything that's been computer programmed, it sounds like it's been a preset, but it sounds like there's a few original bits there. Guitars cut through quite nicely, too much so ahead of the drums. The drums were just completely swamped with compression, in my opinion, so I can't really tell whether they would have been recorded properly or not, but they weren't really up front as much as they should have been, especially for this kind of genre. Interesting effects on the vocals. I like the way that the digital effects were sort of cutting it off and making it sound like it was sort of cutting in and out. Good stuff there. Could have sounded more aggressive. Some sort of performance issues where I kind of thought maybe it could just be a little bit more raw and open, and that would probably add to things. Most memorable vocal I won't repeat, but it is something I do quite a lot.
Okay.
So over to the other guys.
I don't know what the most memorable vocal was, but maybe Ian and John can.
It's something I do.
He's making reference to his usual lateness.
Okay.
Reason for lateness on the Sunday shows. You see.
I got it.
Normally stuck in the little room.
The loo.
Sending the kids to the pool.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Ian and John, what do you guys think about this track? Track number 1.
Shall I go first, or would you like to?
You go first.
I'll go first. Right. Okay. Yeah, this is very disjointed from a mixed point of view, I felt. Drums, it sounds like they left the drummer in the car park when they recorded this. They were just set way back, big reverbs on, didn't like that at all. Couldn't really hear anything. The kick was sort of about there, but the rest of it was just set right back. The guitars were too loud in a lot of places. I mean, it's very hard to say the guitars are too loud because obviously the drums are set right back, so that's, everything really should be mixed around your drums and your vocal. The bass was almost non-distinct. It was there, but barely. And the vocal just felt like it was from a different song, from a mix point of view. None of it seemed to be sitting well at all together. You've obviously got quite a good band here. They can obviously play their instruments. Song-wise, it was okay. I'm not going to say it really sort of jumped out and caught me as a song. But, you know, they're all doing their own parts pretty well, and I think they've all got the general idea of what it takes to create a good song and go and perform it, but they need a producer on this and a good engineer who can basically make them sound a lot better than they do. As James said, nice to hear synth sounds which are slightly less out of the box than usual, and I like that sort of combination of the sort of electronica with the heavy rock. Even that sort of sitar sound that was in there, I've used that before in heavy rock, and it works really, really nicely. It's done well. But again, this is a lot down to the mix. And, you know, you're not going to get a deal or a sale or anything like that off a track like this, which is so poorly mixed, and that is its biggest problem.
All right. And John, what do you think?
Well, I think overall, I like the track. I think it has lots of interesting moments in it, if you like. I think the intro was particularly strong. It, as James said, it was a bit too long, but it certainly arrested my ears. And you start listening to the track and what actually was going on in it. There was a conglomeration of sound that was trying to dissect in my head. As Ian said, you know, what the drums were doing and all these different electronic sounds and things. So, and the vocals really were, you know, just a type of vocal that goes with that type of material. There was nothing different, nothing, you know, it's in the area of heavy rock, and, you know, you can't, my producer's mind can't differentiate really that has got anything different than what's been done before. I think the impact of that track is seeing the group live. If I saw that band live and what they were really like, or is it just a studio production job? Is there a band that actually sounds and plays like that? I would be interested in knowing more about them. But as the track stands, it's got a lot of minuses and pluses about it. I don't think the vocals do much for it, really, but they give it some sort of an identity. I just don't think it's different enough to what we've heard so many times over the years. But, you know, I didn't dislike it. I did actually like it.
All right. Well, very good. I appreciate your thoughts, everyone. Let's introduce that track to our audience now. The name of track number 1, it's called Behind the Scars, and it's from a group called Feeling the Way. Feeling the Way Behind the Scars. We appreciate their sending that track in to Music Scene Investigation. Want to get your tracks on the broadcast? All you have to do is go to MusicSceneInvestigation.com and click on Submit a Song at the top of the page. All right, 2 more songs to listen to. I want to get to song number 2 right now. So here it is, everybody. This is track number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation. Enjoy. We'll be right back.
You get stares, I break mirrors, you're too good for me. You got a lot of cash, I've got an itchy rash, you're too good for me. You got a nice chest, people call me a boob, you're too good for me, you're too good for me. You're too good for me. Too good, well why do I stay? Too good, just drive away. Too good, if only I had a car, I probably wouldn't walk too far. Too good, because I'm out of shape. Too good, and I love you. Yes, I love you. You shop with your dad's plastic, I sleep in my dad's basement. You're too good for me. You live like a queen, I work at Burger King. You're too good for me. You kiss the frog that listens to Prince. You're too good for me, too for me. You're too good. You're too good for me. Too good. Why do I stay? Too good. Just drive away. Too good. If only I had a car, I probably wouldn't walk too far. Too good because I'm out of shape. Too good, and I love you. Yes, I love you. Maybe it's because I'm sweet. I'll even rub your feet. I make you laugh thanks to popsicle sticks. One day I'll buy you a ring that doesn't come from a claw machine. You're too good for me. Too good, too good, too good for me. Too good, why do I stay? Too good, just drive away. Too good, if only I had a car, I probably wouldn't walk too far. Too good, because I'm out of shape. Too good, and I love you. Yes, I love you. Too good, why do I stay? Too good, just drive away. Too good, if only I had a car, I probably wouldn't walk too far. Too good, because I'm out of shape. Too good, and I love you. Yes, I love you.
All right, there is track number 2 on the broadcast today. Let's go back to our panel and find out what their thoughts are on this one. We'll start out with John and Ian and get their thoughts. Gentlemen, what do you think about this particular track?
Okay, right. As I was saying in the chat, to me it sounds like sort of a love child of Dire Straits, The Jam, and The Cure all got together and sort of had a bit of a love child, really. There's a lot of good stuff. There was a fade out. There's an F in fade out. Don't like that. It was finish the song, man. Anyway, end of rant. What do I say about this? There was some really good stuff going on. The mix was a lot better than the previous track. You could hear the vocalist, you could hear the drummer, you could hear the bass player, you could kind of hear the acoustic guitar player, but the guy who was playing the overdriven guitar was kind of left in the toilet, and you couldn't really hear him at all, which is a shame, because I really do feel that this track needed that overdriven guitar, which was stuck way back in the mix, to sort of give it a bit of weight, and a bit more dynamic as well. That's the thing that I found about this track. It lacked in dynamic. It didn't have that shift from verse to chorus, and I really wanted to hear an instrumental break, a guitar solo or something like that, which didn't really come either. So from my two the vocals, I don't know if I liked him or not. He's doing what he's doing quite well, but I don't know. I felt he lacked a bit of conviction, even for a sort. I understand where he was going from with that sort of Cure-esque Paul Weller type thing going on, but I feel he needed a bit more attitude to his vocals. I feel he needed to sort of. I wanted to sort of feel his emotions a bit more through it, and it was a bit up front. Now we have a problem on this show with the vocals being set back a lot. This was very audible. It was in there with the bass and the drums, I think. So. You know, I think rather than dropping the vocal back, I think raising that acoustic guitar and that overdriven guitar would have made a huge difference. And again, that transition from the verse to the chorus, you've got a good hook there, but it's not being exploited enough, in my opinion, sort of to really make that chorus memorable. So build it up, maybe layer some vocals in there a bit more, and get that too good a bit bigger. I did like there was a line about getting a ring instead of one from a claw machine, which I thought was a really nice lyric. So yeah, there's a good song here. Again, I just think it needs to go back and have a mix and address a few sort of issues, like layer down a few more vocals in that chorus to make it a bit more. Bah!
All right, John?
Yeah, I have to agree with Ian. Mostly.
What?
I agree with you mostly on what you said.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's a very listenable track. I think the hook of the song is strong, but I don't think there's been any thought about an arrangement. I mean, you've got the basis of the song, but the arrangement doesn't do justice to the highs and lows, if you like, in the song. And the strongest part of the song to me was the hook. When the chorus came in, when the hook came in, that was quite powerful. But the solo lead voice didn't do much for me, I'm afraid. And the sounds within the track are adequate, but as Ian said, it needs a new mix of much more light and shade in it. It runs on a sort of level all the way through it. And I'm afraid my biggest objection to it was some of the lyrics. I didn't like some of the lyrics that were about that song. I think they were not nice. They didn't sit nicely in a melodic way, if you like. And I don't think the lead singer did justice really to it. But, on the whole, again, it's a listenable track, and that's how I feel about it.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Over to James and his thoughts. James, track number 2.
I'm really intrigued by this one. I mean, it's got such I won't say bizarre, but a slightly unusual vocal style, which makes me think, is this sort of somebody doing it in character or not? Just simply because of the lyrical material, it made me think it might sort of be done in a bit of a tongue-in-cheek way. But forgive me if I'm wrong. That's not meant to be offensive. I
reckon it's just someone sat in their living room doing it. I don't reckon it's a band. And I reckon it's someone who hasn't been produced or got someone to feed off of, personally.
In my opinion, it's sort of very much like a good demo that's been created for the band to come back and work on. That's probably a sort of kind way to look at it, really, because there's quite a few things wrong with the mix. And like Ian was saying, the acoustic guitar and the overdriven guitar aren't really there. The acoustic was tickling my ear in a nice kind of way, in the right channel. I was sort of hearing it every now and then, sort of jangling there and caressing my ear sweetly, but it wasn't prominent enough to sort of make the track stand strong enough. The fade out was annoying. It was particularly sort of retro in all the wrong ways. It just made it sound like some very sort of mainstream 80s record that you wouldn't really want to give the time of day. But I think there's a good track in there. It just needs a little bit more effort in the mix, and maybe a solo, maybe some audible decoration, a few interesting noises here and there. But yeah, it's certainly good as a demo.
All right. Well, I appreciate that too. Thank you very much.
Pinky in the chat said only a good pair of jeans should fade out, and I agree.
That's a bumper sticker, I think. All right, track number 2, everyone. It is called Too Good. It's by mmmBopingMommy. That's true. It's the name of the band, mmmBopingMommy, and we appreciate their sending that track into Music Scene Investigation. All right, one more track to take a listen to as we go throughout the show today. So let's do that right now. Track number 3, everyone. Certainly hope you enjoy it as well. Track number 3 on today's Music Scene Investigation.
Here's how the story goes. There was a pretty girl and a boy in one red rose. They were 16. So many said that love was wrong, but they hoped the rose would always be there. So they watched the dawn. She said, tell me, is this real or just pretend? Tell me, are we more than just good friends? Tell me that you need me, never gonna leave me. Tell me I'm amazing, time slows down. You're
There is song number 3 on the broadcast today. We're going to go back over to the guys and find out their thoughts, starting with James this time around. James, your thoughts on track number 3?
Well, this is very interesting from a technical perspective because there are some strange things going on, and I don't want to sound too critical because it might just be in a file transfer where it happened. But starting off with the musical side of things, I think it's a good performance. Very sort of standard for the genre of the sort of new country type stuff. It's quite predictable. The guitar solos speeding up a little bit there, but that's sort of by the by. Over to the technical, I haven't got a huge amount to say on performance because there were some good performances there. It's all kind of tight and as it should be. I think there was something weird going on with the transfer, as in maybe it was transferred from digital to digital into a more lossy format, or maybe it was transferred from tape to digital somewhere because there's some very strange sounds on the vocals, on the cymbals, and the snare. Right? Oh, what's going on in the background there?
I've got them taken care of.
Are they whispering sweet nothings into their ears?
They are.
Yes, Dad.
It sounds like there's some kind of strange filtering going on the vocals, which could be a transfer issue. Not entirely sure what it is, but it shouldn't be there. And I had to turn up my levels this end so that I could actually hear the track properly. So
it was on the cymbals as well.
Yeah, definitely. Cymbals, vocals, and snare, where you could hear this strange filtering kind of sound that you typically get from transferring to a lossy format. So maybe that's just the way it's been submitted to us. Apart from that, I think there were, what else? I don't know. There's a little bit of a tuning issue with the vocal performance as well. So maybe that's something that could be redone. Overall, nice little country number, and enjoyed it. Apart from having to turn it up.
All right.
My head was a bit too close to the screen when we came back on the video there, I think.
That's fine, James. No problem. We don't mind your head being big. And
Big head, big head, big head.
There's a song.
You see, I really have taken over Tom.
Exactly, you have. The only difference is his big head was he was wearing a dark shirt with no lights on, and there's only one light in the room. And it only illuminated his head. Everything else was dark. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Over to Ian and John and their thoughts on song number 3. John, what do you think about track number 3?
Well, I hate using the word, but James has used it earlier on, that word demo. And to me, it's a sort of a good demo of a song that could justify in using a much stronger arrangement around it, around the song. Some more light and shade, more thought about the intro, more thought about the vocals. And I agree with James 100%. The vocals are out of tune. Which destroys the whole feeling of the thing. It's got quite a strong hook, but it sort of runs on a line. It doesn't know into highs and lows are not highs and lows, and overall it becomes a sort of listenable but slightly boring track. I think a lot more could have been done with it, much more light and shade, and but basically, you've got a song there, and, basically it's listenable to, but basically it wants a lot more to improve it. That's what I think.
All right, and Ian?
Okay. The guys are covered. The vocals were pitchy. She needs to work on that. James has said it. There is some weird compression artifacts or something creeping in on this. Sounds to me like a low-quality MP3. Or something that's been MP3'd time and time again, consistently down from the same file, which is poor show, guys. You've got a good, pretty well recorded track here, and to sort of make a schoolboy error of sending over such a heavily compressed MP3 or something like that, it's wrong. If we were to broadcast this on our radio, it would get compressed again, and you're going to start hearing more and more of those issues coming through every time this is reproduced somewhere. So, schoolboy error on that front. To me, the song didn't really find its identity. You had this verse, which was almost Avril Lavigne, sort of skater boy sort of style, which went into this totally cliched Nashville country chorus. And to me, they sounded like two separate songs almost. I didn't feel that country chorus went with that sort of more chuggy, punky, I say punk in the loosest term of the word, sort of verse. And the girls obviously can sing. There is obviously a tuning issue with her voice she needs to work on. But again, you've gone from this sort of like quite sort of solid verse into this sort of, I don't know, wafty, cliched chorus. And I noticed in the chat, Rich, you were saying you didn't like the way the band kicked it up a notch for the solos. I didn't mind that. I actually felt it actually brought some dynamic to the track, which was a good thing. Hook-wise, wasn't that strong. Lyrically, again, it just comes back to that sort of Nashville country cliche. But really, biggest error with this is that compression issue. That MP3 compression issue. It really, really needs sorting out. You cannot send this track out to anyone like that. As far as I'm concerned, if this was me, I'd be very worried.
All right. Well, I appreciate your thoughts, gentlemen. My mention in chat room about it speeding up and then slowing down, it just seemed to me very obvious that it wasn't a time change. It wasn't an intentional time change, in my opinion. It sped up when she quit singing. It slowed down when she came back in. It sped up when she quit singing there at the end as well. So it was really a bizarre kind of feeling for me. So that's the only reason I mention it. Anyway, track number 3 for everybody's information. It's called Tell Me, and it's by Jamie Arsenault, and we appreciate Jamie sending that track in to Music Scene Investigation as well. All right, we've got the 3 songs listened to. Now you have to make your decision, and we invite everybody out in the chat room to make their decision as well. MusicSceneInvestigation.com/witness. And so what do you guys think about the songs and your selection for Song of the Week?
Tough week. Can I have the chicken, please?
I don't think we're all out. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do my esteemed colleagues think?
Well, each one of those tracks is commendable or not commendable for various things and so on. But as a producer, as listening to a finished track, as to it being played on radio and how it varies against other artists and so on, out of those 3 and all of them need looking at in various ways, to me the most together track perhaps is the first one out of those 3 tracks. That's my opinion.
James?
Okay. For me, I find it sort of unforgivable that the first track, you can't have drums that aren't prominent enough in rock. I mean, they weren't cutting through properly. That's an unforgivable error there. Track 3, I don't think we could really put forward anything to the hit list that has such a serious flaw in it, especially when it comes to something that sounds like it's either got severe phase issues or even some kind of lossy MP3 type sound going on. So it was obvious. I'm going to have to go with number 2. I think it was consistent. Okay, it had its issues with the guitars not being quite high enough, but it was consistent and will probably stand up a lot better to any other competition in a hit list situation.
All right, Ian, are you going to make or break a tie?
I'm confused. Right, number 3, as James says, is out of it for me. I'm not prepared to put that song through purely on those compression issues alone. Number 1 and number 2 both need remixing. Which one would I like to hear remixed the most, I think, is the question for me now. And I think from that point of view, I'm going to have to go with my esteemed colleague, Mr. John Schroeder, and say that number one, to me, is probably the track that needs less attention and would be a better finished track overall.
All right. So it is a split decision then, with song number one taking our Song of the Week selection from our panel, Feeling the Way with their track Behind the Scars. Well done, gentlemen. Well done indeed. John, I want to thank you for taking the time out, eating up all of Ian's refrigerator, I hope, and being with us. I really appreciate it every time you're on with us, and we need to get you back on quicker than every 5 months.
Just call me. Yeah, I'd love to. I love being in. I love talking to you guys, and it's great. It's really good. Keeps me positively thinking, and there's music, and it's great. It's really
fun.
And fun, yeah. Really nice. Yeah.
Absolutely. Love having you on with us. Ian, James, love having you guys here every week as well as everybody out in the audience. Couldn't do it without you guys, and do have a favor. If I could ask you guys to do me a favor, go to iTunes, rate us on iTunes. It would help us tremendously, and we'd appreciate it very, very much. And if you rate us on iTunes, the more people who rate us on iTunes, the more we'll be doing the pre-show chatter and banter over MSI Radio as well. So there's an incentive for doing so.
I think we've upset Pinky.
Because we didn't do that this week, or because he doesn't agree with the panel?
He's put, well, I don't agree with the panel at all, but I'll clean up the chat room anyway.
Well, he's good for that. He's good for that. So there you go. And
Sorry, Pink.
If you don't agree with us, let us know. Fill out your witness statement. We'll bring you the results of those next Sunday. So join us for those results as well. Right now, however, we're going to play out with our Song of the Week selectee, Feeling the Way, and their track Behind the Stars. So here that is. We'll talk to you again next time. Thanks for being here, everybody, on Music Scene Investigation. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye, James.
Bye. Stand up for your life till you get your final breath.